one of my subscribers, lovely subscribers, asked, how do you start to journal consistently? How do you keep your habits? And so I just wanted to kind of share what started me down the path of journaling regularly. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Alicia Lott. This is my channel about bullet journaling and goal setting. This is just a taste of what I do every morning. I have my little morning routine. So first thing I do is I exercise, and then I come into my office here and I do, basically I read my goals aloud. I look at what I need to do for the day. I have my to-do list, but I have another journal. So in the morning, I do a brain dump and I just let everything out on the page. It's very messy. This is my messy space. I don't use correction tape. I don't use anything to, erase. So I have all these little, this is why I use correction tape, is I have these little ugly blobs here. When I am thinking of something else to write, I'll go back and look at my mistakes and try to cover them up. I've been journaling on and off for years, but in 2018 or 19, I had seen some videos on YouTube, and I saw just different things about bullet journaling and about how you can, just have all these cool things in one place, in one book. And that was really attractive to me. At that point, I had piles and piles of different notebooks and post-it notes, everything everywhere. So I wanted to just be less scattered with the things that I was writing down and get them all into one place. And then that way I can just refer to that one thing if I had needed information. Started my bullet journal, and at first it was just kind of an everything kind of place, like a travel scrapbook. It was, I had my Spanish notes. I had a whole section of just Spanish vocabulary. Didn't really work so well, but I was it was very cool at the time, I think. I was very excited about it. Anyway, first of all, figure out why it is that you want to journal and what kind of journal you want to have. There are so many different kinds of journals. There is this messy mess journal here. There is the more traditional, more lined journal. That's what most people think of when they think of journaling, just a regular lined notebook. There are bullet journals, of course, the dotted journals. That's what I use most often. There are art journals. You can make like a scrapbooky type of thing. There's so many different kinds. There's junk journals where people just put scraps of paper that they like. Don't feel that it only has to be one thing. What do you think you would like to do on a regular basis? That's the main thing. You do need to figure out why. I think that is important for maintaining the consistency and just knowing what you want to do. You can change it later, but I think initially just to have something to draw you to that thing is important. And I wrote here, don't keep a journal just because you saw some YouTuber do it. Have your own kind of intrinsic reasons for doing it. But hey, if you want to tell other people that you saw journaling on my channel and you want to tell your friends to come to my channel, I won't be mad. Number 2, find a good journal for you. Make sure that it is the right size and the right type of paper. That is really important to a lot of people. Just having that feeling of like the paper feels nice, and maybe it has a particular smell, like the glue on the binding, that could have a smell and you might like that. I'm not judging you for that. Don't trust me, I am not. So yes, just keep that in mind. Do you like lined paper? Do you like dots? A larger surface? Do you like a smaller surface? What do you like? So definitely just take some time, maybe go to I would say an art supply store or a stationery store. Like if you just really don't know, it's good to just kind of go through and see different types of journals and see what you like. If you don't like that first one, that's okay. And don't ever feel the pressure to finish writing, just completing the entire journal. I am definitely not a person who has forced myself to fill up an entire journal if I don't like it and I'm not feeling the vibe with that journal. I'm not going to, force myself to use it. So I know it's a waste of paper. I know. But just, it's your thoughts and your memories and your art or whatever that is going on the paper, and you have to, treat it with some dignity, I guess. I don't know. What did I even write here? Okay. Number 3 is, all right, I put extreme. It's extreme. Duh. Number 3 is to okay, this is what I did when I first started. As I mentioned, I had a lot of notebooks and just papers and Post-its and all sorts of crap all over the house, and I couldn't find notes and I couldn't find the information that I had written down. So what I ended up doing was just getting rid of everything that wasn't my journal. And my first journal, and yes, looked exactly like this one. So, I mean, my first journal from 2018, I have past ones before that. But yes, when I first started journaling regularly, it looked exactly like this guy. And I decided this guy is where all my stuff is gonna live, okay? I would have lists. I would make like these ridiculous grocery lists. And I would just also pretty much any bullet journaling spread. I tried some form of it because I didn't know what I wanted it to be yet. So, I think it's a good time to experiment and see what you want and see what your needs are. The important thing is that you make this book your home, because it is your place where you live. Making it a place where you feel comfortable visiting. Maybe it's not your home because you're visiting. I don't know. Don't think about it too much. But it's a place where that you can go to, that you can feel comfortable in, that you can take your shoes off and relax, that you can just express your thoughts freely. It's important that you make this a very important place, and that you start to just, at first at least, just put everything into that one book, and then you can decide later, like, no, this doesn't work for me for Spanish study, this doesn't work for me for maintaining my finances or whatever, and then you can just kind of get it down to what you actually want it to be. And then you can have, like me, you can have separate journals for different things. Next one is start small. Just don't feel like you have to spend more than 5 or 10 minutes on things that you plan on doing daily in the journal. Honestly, in the morning, I don't spend more than 10 minutes in my main journal, and then I do my brain dump here. And at night, I do maybe 20 minutes to a half hour of just writing down my thoughts at the end of the day in my main journal, the little guy. So yeah, I'll do that. I'm trying to show you everything, but this is about maybe 15 to 20 minutes of writing here. Just very, very basic, very, very small, and just, otherwise, if you make it too complicated, you're not going to do it every day. Let's be real. And then just think about where and when you would like to journal if you plan on journaling every day. Do you think you'd like to journal before bed? Would you like to journal in the morning when you first wake up? I like to do both. I like bookends. I like to kind of start and end my day writing in some kind of way, or, doodling or figuring or whatever. I'm very much a scribbler, so yeah, that works for me, and just helps me switch my brain off at night and helps me kind of get ready for the day in the morning. Number 5. I don't know if these numbers feel arbitrary to me right now. Make time for journaling. That can be 5 minutes at first. Oh my gosh, if I thought when I was first journaling, if I thought I had to spend an hour every day journaling, or do a certain number of pages, or make it look a certain way, I never would have continued. So you have to just lower your expectations at first, and then you can go from there. Think of different ways you can make journaling part of your routine. You can use public transport. For example, if you take the bus, one of my favorite things to do when I lived in Chicago is I would always have my little backpack with me, and I would ride the bus and I would have my journal out. I actually met a couple people that way because they'd be like, oh my gosh, you journal. Oh, look at me, I journal too. What kind of pen do you use? So it was a way to meet other journaling geeks such as myself. If you're waiting in line somewhere, you can pull out your journal and start writing in the bathroom. I don't know. But yes, just think of different places where you have a little chunk of time and you can say, oh, I'm going to pull out my journal, start writing. Boom. If it's a type of journaling that requires a lot of supplies, make sure that you have those supplies handy and somewhere in your house where you will see them and use them often. Try to keep your supplies together. I say that. I have markers and pens and stuff all over the house. But yeah, try to keep everything together and keep everything kind of neat and organized and in one place. That way you can just sit down with your journal and just do your thing. And when I first started journaling, I used to do more collage. This was during the pandemic, so I had more time. I had more time and more like creative energy that I needed to channel into a place. I would have stacks of magazines that I would keep handy and have my scissors, have my glue stick. I still love glue sticks. So having that stuff handy, it just made it so much easier. I could sit down in front of the television or whatever and just do my thing and just make lovely collages and just try not to think about this horrible virus that was spreading around the earth. Wasn't that lovely? Number 6, if there are days that you skip journaling, figure out why and how you can overcome that. I skip days. It's not like, boom, I got my routine, I'm good, and I don't ever have to make any changes or tweaks or anything, and my routine's never going to change. No, life doesn't work that way. And so, yes, if there's something that needs to be changed, sit down and think about what needs to be changed. Number 7, figure out what motivates you for like different rewards and things. So if you're doing things like habit tracking in your journal, which I think is a wonderful thing to do, it's really helped me a great deal. I would say definitely figure out what is kind of the ding that gives you that spark of joy when you've completed something or when you've done whatever it is you're supposed to do to get the thing. So I really like check boxes. Just having a little square and then just putting a check in it is just my favorite. I don't know, it's stupid. Some people like stickers. Some people like drawing little smiley faces or hearts. So if it's something like that, that'll give you just that little boom, ding, bing in your brain, in your wherever the dopamine is in your brain. I don't know how that works. Definitely do that thing and, just make it something that is, I guess, easy and quick. So yeah, if it's a sticker, make sure you have your stickers there ready. If it's a certain color of marker, sometimes that helps me as well, like just having different colors, just to give the journal, some interest. Related to tracking your habits, make the journaling itself a habit inside the journal, which is very meta, as is like, I have to go to the journal in order to mark that I wrote in the journal. It does help me though. I have a morning check-in that I do every morning, and essentially is just looking at the journal, looking at the to-do list, just making sure everything looks good for the day. It's weird to have that actually inside the journal itself, but it does work. And lastly, get rid of any aspects of journaling that don't suit you. You do what you want. Do what you want. If you want to paint all the pages green and put purple polka dots and then write over that and then put some newspaper on top of that and then just put a bunch of glitter. I just watched like 3 videos where someone just dumped slime on a plate and they were talking while they did that and they were telling all these stories. So, I mean, and these videos are getting like thousands and thousands of views. So, I mean, I don't know what my point is of telling you that, but the point is, I did have a point, is that it's your show. You do what you want, and nobody else has to look at it. But if you feel like sharing it on YouTube, you can do that too. If they don't like it, okay, bye. And get rid of things that don't suit you, because you are a unique, artistic, wonderful, lovely individual. And I thank you very much for joining me. And I probably won't show you too much more of this journal, no offense, but I may. We'll see. If you like this video, please give me a like. Please subscribe if you'd like to see more. Upside down, wave goodbye. Ah, you don't see the fun either.